Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new live, and I hope tonight is working better than the last one. So, we are going to be painting. We are going to do some hobby tonight, and I want to share with you what I'm doing. Sorry for that. So, I will look for my. Just I was looking to see if I can find myself. Because it went okay. Since that it's working well. Okay, let me see. Okay, it seems that it's coming correctly to me. I hope yours this time is not um, it's flowing better. All this, and let me just show something that I've been working. So this is the guy, and since the camera is not working, this is great. Why cannot see anything on here? Here I can see why is not working. This. Let me see what's happening with this thing. We start with some technical problems. No, it's working. This is very strange. This was very strange. And I have this in the middle of the camera. Sorry for that. So yeah, I've been working on this guy. The light is not the best today. Let me just do one thing. This should be like that. I don't know if my screen. Should be better. I think it's also my screen that is. This, I need to. So this is what I have been working. Okay. This is one of the red. I never remember the name of these guys. One of the paladins of the. And we are going to be working on the next one today. This guy here on the rock. And for fun, I will do. These are very old plastic bats from Warhammer Quest on the 90s. So this is how it's looking like on Prime. So we are going to do a fast job on these guys to have them ready for gaming, just in case they are needed. Um, Next tutorial that will come to the channel is this guy, Jelsen, um, the Witch Hunter from the Curse City as well. I'm enjoying really a lot this kit. And if you follow my channel, you know that I was working on this guy. So it's yeah, the second part came just yesterday, the tutorial, and this how it's looking like. Okay. So tomorrow I will. Hey Nave, thanks a lot for joining. I hope you like what you see here. So this is the Radukar the Wolf. Getting ready to have all the kit painted, and maybe I will start doing some games on Core City. Last weekend at the end, I managed to have a game of Warhammer 40,000. So tomorrow I will put the tutorial, and now I'm putting my secret weapon to paint. We can eliminate this screen, and we can go to painting. So as you can see, I have to use these magnifier glasses. There is no way these days that I can paint without the magnifier glasses. So we have all the base colors except here done. And now what we are going to do is we are going to work on creating the shades. Okay. So I'm going to use regular flash shade on the gold first. And this is how I've been painting my Stormcast Eternals since Age of Sigmar was released. Okay. So applying this, I think I will change brush. I want to have a little more control, and this brush does not give me too much control. Because I want the white to turn to match the green. I hope the music is arriving to you correctly, not too loud. I'm realizing that I feel more comfortable sometimes without the handles than with the handles. Especially when I want to share on camera what I'm doing. Without the handle, I have more control to have it in the right place. So today we released the leaks of Botan. I'm not interested in the box to be fair, but once the codex is released alone, maybe I'll buy it just to as a collectionist. But I'm not planning to do leaks of Botan. I'm more interested to see when they will release the Escher bikes, and I'm hesitating if I will buy or not the Goliath ones. Because I would like to have two complete warbands for Necromunda. I have the Goliath and I have the Escher. So just I'm just at this moment thinking I don't think I will buy it right now. Maybe more in the future, like I did for the expansion they did for the two warbands. Because I'm more interested to buy when it released the Amazons for Blue Ball. I always been looking for having yeah, I was always interested to having an Amazon Blue Ball team. So more interested on that. I keep playing as well Warhammer Underworlds on Wednesdays when I can. And last Wednesday I had a couple of good games. I played Championship with the Exile Death, the Conductive Guys, these electrical zombies, and then I played Championship, no Championship, sorry, with Nurgle and Rivals with the Exile Death. I'm really enjoying the Exile Death. I think it's a fun warband to play. And now, yeah, I just ordered the Corn Guys. I'm looking forward to play, and also the new Rivals deck. I want to see how it looks like, and I will do a review in the channel. So I will review the two warbands, the new decks, right? The core warband and the new rivals deck. I will review them in the channel. I will give my opinion. Because now that I'm playing more on a regular basis, yeah, I can have some idea how the decks can work and what cards are easier or difficult to score or to play. What are the good and bad cards in a way? Okay. I have to say that the Exile deck is quite a good deck. as well as the new witch hunters. They seemed quite strong even in played against them in championship format, and they were quite strong. Thanks a lot, Nif. I'm glad that you like the colors. This is a cybery green, and yeah, and then we have the retributor armor that now I'm washing. I'm adding shade using Raglan Flay shade. I always like to work to do the shade of gold with Raglan Flay shade. In the past, I used to use Seraphim Sepia, but I think Raglan Flay shade give a much richer shading. Just being sure that everything is well. All the gold is done. And now we wait that this dries. So what you can do while it's drying, we have the backpack of this guy. Okay, be sure that I don't mess up with the backpacks here. This is one for this guy. This is the one for this. Okay. This is the one for the leader. Yes. So his backpack is oh, this one. Okay. So we are going to take. I'm going to first remove. Yeah, Agwax is a it's a nice is yeah one of the contests that are very useful because it almost it it helps me as well on the metallics. It works in a lot of things, and I see your point. Yeah, Agwax can be another option, but I like what I like the Raglan Flay shade is that it's giving this reddish tone that adds a lot to the gold. So now I'm going to do the this type of backpack that these guys are having, right? Once, and I'm going simple for that. It's like a reliquary that they have at the back. You can see have like a small doors that are closed. It looks like a reliquary that you can find sometimes in the charges, in the church. Okay, they used to keep a relic or so. I'm painting them in gold. You can see Retributor armor is a great gold from my point of view. Has a very good coverage. It's a great base to start painting on. It's a good base for gold. Quite, in a way, orangey. It's got a lot of. So if you look more for a more yellow gold, brighter gold, then you need to use auric armor gold later on. Or any gold from any other company. But this is a very good foundation, so you can apply this one and then a lighter gold on top. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I'm not going to the Games Workshop store, so I cannot put my hands on this free model. But yeah, I can understand. And hi, Essex. Uh, Thanks a lot for joining. I'm glad to see you back. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's been a long time, but I was also streaming in a different times the last weekend. I tried to stream it earlier in the afternoon here, but today was not possible, so I'm back to the night streaming. So I'm glad to see you around. Yeah, glad. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining. And now it's time to rest a little bit, I guess. So let me show one thing on camera because I will talk more on this Monday. But you can see I was playing with three different contrast paints, and I get three different bad colors. These are from Warhammer Quest in the 90s. Okay, so the first one is this one, Garagite Sewer, and I like a lot. It gives a very interesting. I also use it a lot for to make this type of very dark leathery jackets. Okay, so it's really an interesting color, the Garagite Sewer. I like it a lot. Okay, the next one, to do bats is not the ideal, but I like it a lot. Is Brawling Green, and it's a very interesting color. It's more a gray than a black, but I like it a lot as well because it gives more contrast than the Black Templar. That is this one. Okay, the last one is Black Templar. No surprises there. So these are really three interesting, and I think I will do another three following the same pattern. But what we can do here now, this guy, we're going to paint them. We are going to add no black on top of this, none oil, and we are going to see because sometimes the contrast can be a good base to keep working on top. And I also want to test this one, Mortarian Green. That is like a green, a very light green. And I don't know where I put my node oil now. That's good. So the first one, you mean this one, the brown one. Yeah, but it's a little bit brown if you're looking more for a black bat. So I need to put, I think I will put now some nude oil when I manage to find, here it is. Yeah, if you can put it back to the right place. So I will put nude oil on top of this bat. And I will darken a little bit more. And I think that, and it's quite tricky because you can see the wings are quite flat. This is a very old miniature. Eh? This is really an old sculpt. Nothing does not have the sharpness or the detail that we are used these days. But still, fun miniature to have it painted. Can be a nice miniature even for a role game. Of course, for Warhammer Quest it was. So for me, the Warhammer Quest they released in the 90s was very interesting because there were a lot of different plastic miniatures. They were skavens, orcs, goblins, snarlings, spiders, these bats, a minotaur, and was remember that in the 90s was almost everything in metal. So it was quite impressive that they have released. And here what we are going to do, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do a layer of moon oil on top. Yeah, and you can see that the what I didn't like too much about the here of the rattling dream is that you can see I have the same problem with the noon oil. It's pulling a lot, while the Black Templar have had a better coverage. So I will say for flat areas, the rattling dream is more will cause more like dirtiness and will need more work to clean up the job, to clean up the paint job later on. But you can see here, leave a lot of staining. So here I will need to work a lot. They're just applying another layer of noon oil instead of the darling green to make it darker. And now we will the one with Black Templar. Yeah, what we need to do is now the highlighting. And here you can do, I will highlight this one in grays. Okay. So I will do some dry brushing here on the main body. And I think I will go directly with the downstone. And I have to say that the texture of food, but the posture is horrible, of this bat. But yeah, in that period of time, the molding techniques were not as advanced today. Okay, and workshop did not have the resources that they have today to make molds. It's also important. Okay, it's not just sometimes there was not all the digital tools that we have these days to help you in making the molds. Yeah, they are fun. These are from, yeah. Uh, Hi, Spanko. Yeah, these are fun little bats that I have it for long time. I will show you as well ones that I want to paint, and I don't know why I never paint them. So because these are quite a job of a moment, you don't need to spend too much time. I want to show you now miniatures that I really like it from this kit. I have them here. So this is my bag of all the miniatures from the Warhammer Quest from the 90s. I was classifying them, and these are some of my favorite ones. The spiders of this kit. They were, I don't think they had bases, but these are the spiders. Really fun. And I still need to clean up the legs. But these are flashes from the sprue. You can see nice little cute face of the spider. These are really nice miniatures. I think I will play a little bit with the colors of the spiders, maybe browns. Why not? A little bit of red can also be interesting. Adding some water to the gray I have in my wet palette. No, they are. If you see, I did not lose the tail because I just, you can see all, but here, yeah, the wings are, yeah, they're quite detailed for the period, but they are rough, they are big, so they are not the same finesse as we can see today in the malls, right? But they were nice. So once you do the dry brushing, you can have the texture of the hair there. I think the camera is not really showing everything. They have, I think on this one you will see better the retail of the furry pass. But it's not as sharp as they do today. They put even more depth to this detail. So you have to be careful not to clog the detail. But they were quite good. No, this is these are not Hero Quest. They are from Warhammer. These are Warhammer Quest from the 90s. So I think they released this because they had not anymore the license of Hero Quest, and they released this the Warhammer Quest. But these are the miniatures from the 90s. But they were different. They were here. You didn't have the Chaos Warriors, for example. They were a little bit different than the miniatures that were coming in the Hero Quest. But for me, this is like a, yeah. I'm very glad to have these things in my collection. And to be fair, they have not received the love that they deserve for such a classical miniatures. So this is why I want to give some love. No, I think it's never late to paint these little cute guys. Yeah, I think only the people that played in the 90s will find them. Well, these bats are quite cute, but of course they are very static if you compare to the bats that they are releasing now in Workshop in the Core City. But okay, these are going to be fast paint jobs. So I was thinking to introduce my kids. I'm still thinking which Warhammer quest to use because I like a lot the Warhammer quest from the 90s. So if I paint these ones, then I will have all my Warhammer quests painted. They also have the ones from the Silver Tower. And then I will have as well the Fall of Hammerhand, I think it's called. Or the Shadows in Hammerhand or something like that. And check here, we see exactly where the mold is finishing. I think I will add exaggerate the texture myself in the left. There comes my dilemma. What color I use for the... I think I will make red eyes on these guys. You can make do yellow eyes. I don't know which color of eyes I have to put on these guys. At the back, I will apply darker gray on the wings. And then what I will do is purple black there. And I will go like that. Now, move it here. Do you think your children enjoy the games you play together more if the miniatures are painted brown? I think the children, anything that helps the visuals, I think maybe they can enjoy the game in the same way, right? But you make the game more appealing visually speaking, right? In a way, it's easier to, let's say, convince or to attract them to the game, right? To make the game more appealing for them. I think having the miniatures paint help to newcomers to the game, to have newcomers to the game. But it's more appealing the game with painted miniatures. I think it's making the game more interesting for everybody, for children and for adults. Of course, once you are into the game, maybe you don't pay that much attention, but I think the first moment it's important the miniatures are painted to make the game more attractive. But of course, I was playing role gaming without miniatures, just with tokens. I mean, if you have interest, you don't need painting miniatures. You don't even need miniatures, right? In a way. So to be fair, to play Warhammer Quest, you don't even need miniatures. But it's much more appealing if you have miniatures that represent and help a lot people that maybe are not super interested. Helps a lot to sell the game to these people. especially these days that children are becoming more and more visual with all the video games. Sorry, I was just looking one thing. So here what I'm doing is I'm playing with downstone, Hashing and if it's needed, administratum way. But at this moment I'm just using downstone as the lighter color. Because I think it's light enough for what we need here. I'm going to try to keep the top that is facing up in gray and the parts that are looking down in black, and then I use corpus black to do the shade part. And these parts that are like the wings that are quite flat in a way, right? The membrane of the wing is quite flat. I think you have to reward them because normally the contrast paint will give staining on flat parts, right? Because there is no any capillary effect that will force the paint to go to some recess. I think I will make the eyes red a little bit, glowing red, because I think it's going to give more. Yeah. Then of course there is sometimes, because it happened with my kids, that they associate miniature games with long games, right? And then it goes the opposite effect of what I wanted. Although the miniatures are appealing to them, they are not willing to spend long time on a game. Game video games are also designed. My kids like, well, I don't know, because they like Minecraft and they can spend hours and hours building houses in Minecraft. They even have built a village and they can spend hours on that, but they consider that they should not spend that same time playing board games or miniature games. Again, there is also all this. There is the preference of the kids, right? But especially if you go to conventions or you want to introduce a new frame to game, if you can play with painted miniatures, and I recommend not to use proxies when if it's a person that is the first time that is playing, because it is very confusing if you start using proxies. Just start with what. Because at the end, when you are showing a game, even if it's balanced or not, is not important. What is important is that the people get a little bit the mechanics. And the most important is they enjoy the game. So if you want to teach a newcomer, it's important not to crash this newcomer in the first game. Because although this person can understand, okay, I'm new and the other person is an expert and should win, yeah, nobody likes to be crushed badly, right? Nothing is that he's losing by a little bit, or because at the end, the important there is not to win this game. The important thing when it's a newcomer is to make the game appealing to this person. Yeah, here I misplaced the I. The problem because we can always correct our mistakes. No, let's take some white to make the teeth. We have the tone there. I'm going to use a dark flash for the tone. No, no. Black. I will now use. We'll use again vibration. The soft brush. I'm looking for a soft brush. Make to soften. The new squads. For me, yeah, it's a new race. I think we need to wait until we get a little bit used. There are some meters that I like, and some meters that I'm not. I'm not that convinced. I will not collect them. Okay, because I never been. The point is, I never been a super fan of the dwarfs. And I'm so I like some of the dwarf. I like, for example, the slayers and some, but I never been a super fan of the dwarfs, and I never been collecting too many dwarfs. I have dwarfs that are coming. For example, I have the small warbands of underworlds because I collect them all. I have the dwarfs that are coming in the Warhammer quest. So I'm not a big fan of dwarfs. So I don't have anything against neither. So, but it's not maybe my taste, my cup of tea, right? But I I I mean, it's I need to read as well the background, but for me they are okay, but are not something that I will run to buy. I mean, some of them I like it, and some of them, okay, I'm not that fan. But to be fair, I don't have a big opinion. I'm quite neutral on this race. I don't have a big opinion in favor or against. I accept that they are not for me, and that's all. So they have seen the new box. I don't know. They will be quite strong. I see some people say that they are like short marines. I understand the opinion, but I don't think they are really short marines. Although they used to be like that, right? When you look in the 90s, they were more. Everything have evolved a lot, right? Even the space marines were in Rock Trader were very different of what they are today. Okay, so and most of the squads are from Rock Trader era. Although because in second edition they almost disappeared. That was when they changed the look of the Marines. So they were like um, motards, right, in the past, and then they were as well guys with super heavy armor. So they were in a way similar to the Space Marines because they weren't tall, but they were short with a lot of armor and resilience and toughness. I mean, so in a way, I think they did a modernization of what the squads were really in the 90s. If you are looking at the profiles, a lot of them did not exist, but if you were looking at the profiles, they were really um, resilient and with very strong armor. But even in the 90s, they were not one of my favorite factions. I was more into Chaos or even Elf. I always like a lot the Elder. So maybe I think more like Elf-like person. And maybe the reason is because I like a lot factions. When I was playing role, I like to to play with a magic guy, with a magician or sorcerer. So this code is looking like no. So this may be why dwarf. I'm not being always the most appealing faction to me. And then 940k. I was more into the chaos or even the Space Marines or Elder. So this code is looking like the one in brown, not that we have put non-oil. But I will first do another thing. I will go back to my Stormcast Eternal and we are going to do the green wash. And this is something I want to do here because you will see that I will do green wash over the whole mirror except the light where we have the light colors. So taking this one, we're going to use Coelia green shade. And we're going to apply this everywhere, including the gold, except in the brown, except where I have the light green. Yet even I will go in this position. And we're going to apply this. I like the look of dirty old gold that gives. I'm going to apply it on there. It will make the purple look a little bit more bluish. If you follow my channel, you know that I always did that on the Stormcast Eternals since the beginning, adding green to the shade. Yeah, I try to be sure that I have a nice shade around the gold. It can look very messy, but once we start cleaning up, you will see that it will be gives a very interesting finishing to the gold. So I guess I answered your question, Essex, about the squads. I'm not sure about the vehicles. They have a lot of weapons, but they look a little bit fragile to me. And I know the bikes were very criticized, but for me the bikes are not that bad. They cannot put Harleys anymore in the 40k. It will look very weird. Even I will apply the green on the brown. And when it dries, it does not have this green thing anymore. But it creates all this shading. Let's see. Okay. What I'm waiting for to buy is I want to buy the new Amazons. And it seems that they wait some time to release because they are not releasing them. And I also want to have the new Acer bikes when they are released. Also seems that the Necromunda, the new book, have a lot of narrative part, but I think it's interesting. So I would love to find someone to play Necromunda or to make a campaign of Necromunda. I think I will love it. Need to see if I can someone that would like to play Necromunda. Or a club. But I will need to wait until I'm moving to a new house. But I don't have a date yet. But I hope I can move to a new house end of December. End of this year, so in December. Not end of December, I hope it's beginning of December. Or middle, because I don't want to move during Christmas period. It's going to be, it's not feasible. Okay. Then we need to wait that this dries. going to make this part there. I need to put fresh black. Here we are. Let's wait that this dries and we can do a second layer on there. What I can do is to do the dry brushing on the base. I'm starting to be tired. Now I'm looking for regular and fresh shade. Oh, is this one? I have it somewhere. I have to use contrast to give a green tint, like if there was some lichens or something there. And now I will use Ivax. Okay, that's all. Here we have the bat painted, the black one. Into the trimming. Okay, here we have one bat painted. And I think, see, let's do this one. I think I will need to stop because I'm getting very tired. I'm sleepy and I don't want to make mistakes. So I've been 1 hour, but I'm really tired now, and I think I will go to bed. Mm, I'm sorry if I need to finish, but yeah, this is what I want. I wanted to show how I do the washes here. You can see how it looks like now. I think the gold is looking very interesting with this combination. And I also wanted to share you the three different paints there and how to evolve. So yeah, I don't know. This is the eyes. This bat is very leathery. Like this. Here's where I did a bit of mistake, so I will need to use my teeth first. Okay, I think I will finish here. I'm tired, I'm sleepy, and I'm not progressing as I wanted. So sorry if today the live show was a little bit short, but okay, this is what we have done. Okay, I've done one of these little guys. But sorry, I'm really tired, and I don't want to mess up. So just let me put the camera to say goodbye. Okay, so here we are. So I want first to thank all the people that have connected, Essex, Spanko, and Nif. I really appreciate that you have connected. Thanks a lot for passing by, for commenting, for interacting with me. I really appreciate it. And for today, that's all. So I hope you have enjoyed a little bit short tonight, but I was really tired, and I think I need to finish here because I'm not really painting now with a lot of concentration. So that's all for now. So as usual, thanks a lot for being here, and if you're watching this later, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.